This, we're also tracking the tropics with Hurricane Erin. Let's get you over to Weather Authority meteorologist Julie Durda with your forecast. Good morning, Julie.
Hi, Alex. Andrew, South Florida. It's a beautiful start. You said it, Andrew. All of our tower cams showing off this morning with all the sunshine, the bright blue skies. And look how calm the Atlantic is. Yeah, barely any winds out there, so it does feel a bit humid. Our temperatures are in the lower 80s. Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Key West, feeling like 94 degrees in Key West. A muggy 89 rather in Miami, as well as Fort Lauderdale. As for rainfall, my in-house model does pull that chance of some afternoon sea breeze storms. Pretty aggressive. I don't think they are going to be this widespread, and I think this model is probably overdoing it, but it is hinting at least some of us could see some storms inland. So I don't want you to think it's a rain-free day just because the sea breeze looks as though it'll start to nudge slightly closer to the inland spots. Western Broward County, western Miami-Dade, rain chances about 20 to 30% by then. As we take a look at the rain on the radar, not much at all to talk about. Everything's been hugging our coastline. Let's go to the tropics. We promised you the update on our tropical update the first 10 minutes. So we have Hurricane Erin spinning over the Atlantic about 100 miles north-northeast of Grand Turk Island, moving northwest at 13. I'm gonna have a lot more on this coming up.
South Florida, we're taking a live look at your roads right now. The 595 is moving pretty slowly here. You can see the cars are going pretty slow on the eastbound lanes. So the westbound lanes look good here, but let's take a look at your maps. Things looking very, very busy out there. Let's take you closer to what we were just looking at. This is just after the turnpike where that live look was for you. Things moving pretty slowly, but the good news is once you get past it, you are in the green. Let's take you a little further down south where we are seeing some delays here. This is I-95 going southbound. You did have an accident here near Miami Gardens Drive not too long ago, but the accident has since cleared. Things are still pretty congested though, so if you still want to avoid this, you can take 441. Let's leave you with some drive times. This is for Miami-Dade County. The Dolphin Expressway, always very congested in the morning as well. If you want to avoid the Dolphin, you can take the Airport Expressway. But right now you're looking at 36 to 12 minutes to get to where you need to go going eastbound. Be safe.
Okay, welcome back. Your Weather Authority team is standing by this morning with everything you need to know to get your day started.
And there's a lot going on. We're going to get started with meteorologist Amanda Pappas tracking the latest on the nationwide heat wave. Amanda.
Oh, it is feeling hot out there. So as you look across the country, look at this. We have multiple states under a heat alert. An expansive, dangerous heat wave is spreading through the central and also eastern portions of the U.S. with millions of Americans in more than a dozen states under these heat alerts. So you can see all the heat alerts here, the heat advisories that are in place in orange, and then also you see the extreme heat warnings in the pink right here in the center of all that orange, and also extreme heat watches over towards the west coast. Julie, thinking about her in mind and her family, over towards portions of Los Angeles, San Francisco, Las Vegas, and also seeing that for New Mexico and other areas. So we really need to make sure that we're ready for the heat, not just here in Florida, but all across the country. So it's a great reminder that when those feels like temperatures are back in the triple digits, you need to stay hydrated, and they're going to be back in the triple digits for multiple portions of the country. And you can see that, look at behind me, just all these people in the sun, right? And you could see those heat waves off in the distance. You know how this feels. It's definitely nothing to play around with. You need to stay hydrated. Heat exhaustion, heat stroke are some of those dangers. So if we could switch it back to my graphics right now, I want to show you exactly what we're expecting for some of our high temperatures for today. We can expect about 100 degrees over towards portions of Dallas for today and 101 into tomorrow. So overall, I think that the main key here, as I bring in Julie Durda, our main meteorologist over here, my girl, it is just way too hot out there, and we need to stay hydrated, especially with the kids going back to school.
Absolutely. And so we deal with the heat and the humidity here on the East Coast. Our friends out west, it's just hot and dry, and that really is a concern, Amanda, for the fires out there, and that's what's fueling the fire issues that they're having out west and the drought conditions. So, and she's correct. We've got another hot, humid day for us. Even though we are not meeting the heat criteria of having a heat advisory, we're still expecting our heat indices to be 100 to 105 degrees, as another hot, steamy day will provide for some sea breeze storms to develop. The storms will be well inland, and then we'll start to see our marine forecast start to deteriorate just a bit. It will not be nearly as nice and calm in our marine forecast going into tomorrow, because that will be our closest proximity to Hurricane Erin, which will bring some rough surf up and down the East Coast. Live look outside, we've got those blue skies. It looks beautiful out there. Temperatures in the lower 80s. Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Key West, winds anywhere between 3 to 5 miles per hour. Dew points mid to upper 70s. Off the chart, so it feels feels like the upper 80s and the 90s, even the low 80s for Key Largo. Satellite and radar composite showing a few showers that we're trying to hold together, but it doesn't look as though they made it on shore. We've got the dry air ahead of Aaron, which is beneficial because it's keeping our rain chances down, but it is also going to limit that chance for the storms to become more scattered as we go into the afternoon hours. So these storms we're expecting will be sea breeze driven over inland Broward and Miami-Dade. And then tomorrow we watch the closest approach of Aaron, which again will have indirect impacts because even the Bahamas are going to be seeing this system just to the east of them. As we take a live look, our feels like temperatures today will be anywhere between 100 to 105 degrees. Here is the latest on Hurricane Aaron, winds of 130 miles per hour. It is moving west-northwest. We have those watches and warnings in effect, a tropical storm watch all the way into a tropical storm warning. And it's because the winds displaced from the center are tropical storm strength, just about 230 miles away from the center. As for the center, it stays just to the east of the Bahamas, and that's where we're talking about Tuesday will be the closest proximity. It could bring us that rough surf, and really the concern is for our friends across the East Coast all the way up to the Northeast. Coastal flooding could be possible. There is a coastal flood watch in effect for parts of North Carolina and Morehead City, as they could have to deal with some high surf. By the way, there is another area we are watching pushing off the coast of Africa with a 50% chance of development. Low risk of occurrence for you beachgoers, boaters. The bays will be at a light chop, so today will be your day to do the beach and boating, as the breeze will start to pick up tomorrow. Have a great day.
Monday morning, South Florida, and your roads are feeling it. It's busy out there. 595 going eastbound, you're seeing some congestion there. Things are moving pretty slow in the eastbound lanes. Your westbound lanes look good, though. Let's take a look at your maps. Things looking pretty colorful out here. Let's take you a little closer to an area in Broward County where you're seeing some delays because of an accident. This is on Pembroke Road. So although you see all that red in 95, the accident's actually on Pembroke Road right here, just after I-95. The right lane is blocked there. So you're seeing some backup there on Pembroke Road. Let's take you over to Miami-Dade County. Right here, you are seeing some serious delays here. The 836 seeing several miles of delays here. This is all the way between the 826 and 95, so 5 miles of things moving really slowly out there. Take the Airport Expressway instead to avoid this. Let's take you over to some drive times, Miami-Dade County. The Palmetto Expressway going southbound, Northwest 154th Street to the Dolphin will take you 41 minutes. I-75 to the Dolphin will take you 42. Be safe out there.
Most of you were. I've got your sunrise. Here's what it looked like from our Miami tower cam. Picture perfect. Look at all that sunshine breaking through. Just some fair weather clouds in the distance. Those clouds are not producing precipitation. They're actually just hugging our coastline because the winds are so calm. Here's what it looks like from our Fort Lauderdale tower cam. Low to mid 80s are the temperatures to get you out the door. Wish it felt that way. It feels more like the 90s. Fort Lauderdale, Miami, 98 degrees in Key West. As for showers today, we'll be very hard pressed to see the storms by the metro coastal areas. Today, my in-house model pulls the storms being sea breeze driven, meaning we have the peak heating of the day, and it will stay mainly over inland Broward and Miami-Dade. Maybe over some inland spots could clip some of these storms. That's my highest rain chance. It goes into the early evening hours. So highs will be in the 90s, feels like temperatures in the triple digits. Getting to the latest on Hurricane Aaron, this system has winds of 130 miles per hour. The newest intermediate advisory is in. It's moving northwest at 13. Pressure 933 millibars. It's now 115 miles north-northeast of Grand Turk Island. Let's watch the system as it makes its way towards the north. We have new watches and warnings most likely coming in. We'll see if these get updated. We still have a tropical storm watch for Cat Island to Long Island, and then in towards a tropical storm warning for much of the southeastern half of the Bahamas. More on all this coming up.
Thank you, Julie. South Florida, good morning. Happy Monday. It's just after 8 a.m. and your roads are still very, very busy out there. Right now, we're taking a live look at 595. Your eastbound lanes moving pretty slowly here. Westbound lanes look good, though. Let's take you over to your maps. Look right here. You can see a lot of red there. That means a lot of congestion out there. You can see it in I-75 going southbound, also I-95 going southbound, some areas that we're seeing some heavy congestion. Specifically here, as you leave the Hollywood area and you start heading a little further south, speeds here coming in as slow as 29 miles per hour. Things are moving slowly all across the board on 95 going south. So if you'd like to avoid it, you can definitely take 441 instead. Let's move you over a little further down south. This right here, the Dolphin Expressway, just showing you that across the board, also going eastbound, you have some heavy delays. You can take the Airport Expressway and just avoid this altogether. Let's take you to some drive times. Miami-Dade County, Palmetto Expressway going southbound. Northwest 154th Street to the Dolphin will take you 23 minutes. I-75 to the Dolphin will take you 40. Be safe out there. Alexis.
Only here
for your day-to-day. But of course, what's happening in the tropics, a lot of attention. Julie, what do you got for us this morning?
Yeah, well, let's start off with that beautiful sunrise, because everyone joining us right now is probably sleeping, and I don't blame you. I would have been sleeping too. But boy, look at this spectacular. Just nothing but clear skies, dry conditions, a little bit of cloud cover in the distance, but you notice overhead, those blue skies continue. And the great news about that, meaning that we started off mostly dry, but boy, we heated up in a hurry. Our temperatures reflecting those clear skies, low to mid 80s, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Key West, feels like temperatures in the 90s from Pompano Beach all the way down to Key Largo and Key West. My in-house model pulls the possibility of some sea breeze storms developing later today. They will not be widespread, but they will be pretty isolated and favoring inland Broward and inland Miami-Dade. As for the forecast, the rest of us in the metro coastal areas, very hot, humid, highs in the 90s, feeling like the triple digits. We're rain-free for now, so let's get to the tropics. We have Hurricane Erin spinning just east of the Bahamas. The 8 o'clock intermediate advisory has winds of 130 miles per hour, moving northwest at 13. And boy, the system is a massive, powerful hurricane. About 115 northeast of Grand Turks Island. It is expected to continue on that path, just staying off our coastline. And we're going to have a lot more of this coming up in another 10 minutes. See you then.
Good Monday morning, South Florida. It's just after 8:30. Things still very, very busy out there on your roads. Let's take a look right here. You are taking a look at your maps. Things are very, very, very colorful. Lots of pockets of red across the board here. Take a look. I-95 north and southbound seeing some delays. You do have an accident on 95s. This is just before Northwest 79th Street, so you are going northbound here, but your southbound lanes are also very delayed. If you want to avoid this altogether, you can take 441, but you do have a right lane block here because of this accident. Things going as slow as 9 miles per hour. That is no fun. Let's take you over to Broward County. You guys have some delays as well. 595. If you want to avoid this, you can take State Road 84, but it is just a small pocket. Once you get past it, you are in the green. Let's take you to some drive times right here. 595. We were just looking at that. I-75 to US1 going eastbound will take you 19 minutes. University Drive to US1 will take you 10. Be safe.
Hot start to the day.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey, Amanda, how are you this morning?
Hey, I'm great. You guys both have sleeves on. What are you doing?
I know.
It's cold in the newsroom. That's what people at home don't realize.
That is very, very true. Honestly, I'm shivering just a little bit. I definitely feel my little pelitos, my little arm hairs going up in here. It's cold in here, but it's hot out there. We have heat alerts all across the country. Look at this. All this orange, all of the pink. No, it's not just fun colors that we have on the board. Those are major heat alerts and dangerous heat alerts at that across the country for right now. So what we have in effect is that we have a heat advisory from Illinois into Missouri, spanning down into the Ohio River Valley, the southeast, and even for Texas and Louisiana and Oklahoma as well. So those people are really under some significantly hot conditions. And we do know that there's even an extreme heat warning bullseye in the middle of all this, thanks to a ridge of high pressure. So we do know that overhead it is going to be hot, not just here, but across the country, even to the West Coast. Shout out, Julie. We do see that California and into Nevada and portions of the Southwest just dealing with this oppressive heat. So what is going on? Well, we have the high pressure in place, right? And then again today, when you factor in the heat with that humidity, it's going to be feeling like the triple digits. And even some areas across the country will actually be at the triple digits. A national look at all this heat, 100 degrees potentially for the high today in Memphis, also for Dallas, 96 for Houston, and us here, of course, in Miami in the 90s. And speaking of Miami, right here with me is my lovely friend, Julie Durda, the best meteorologist I know, right?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
We're talking all about the heat, right, Julie?
Yeah, thank you for the shout out for the heat in the West Coast, because people don't realize, you know, California is great, but it gets hot, it is dry, it is relentless when we're talking about their temperatures in the triple digits too. While it's not nearly as humid, it still causes some issues, especially because of how dry everything is. So we are noticing another day with heat indices 100 to 105 degrees, increasing marine conditions expected in our forecast. So that's something we're going to transition to as we watch the closest approach of Hurricane Erin, which will still be well to the east of the Bahamas. And this is a very indirect impact, but we will notice that our breeze will start to pick up. Our Hollywood beach cam looks fantastic right now. Crystal clear skies, dry conditions. I mean, the winds are so calm. Biscayne Bay looks like glass. across the Atlantic. Looks like class temperatures, though, wow, in the low to mid 80s. Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Key West, winds anywhere between 3 to 6 miles per hour. Dew points mid to upper 70s. Steamy to downright sticky as our feels like temperatures are in the 90s. 94 in Miami right now, 98 muggy degrees, Key West, 91 in Fort Lauderdale. As for rain, very limited precipitation expected today. I've been watching a few showers that have been offshore. There's one sprinkle, if that did hold, right over Davie and 595. Otherwise, it's all about the drier air ahead of Aaron as it's moving just east of the Bahamas, and we're tapping into some high pressure that's going to continue to bring in our winds from the east northeast, and eventually more of a northeasterly breeze with a tight pressure gradient is why tomorrow we'll have more of the marine concerns with our winds picking up. As for our dew points, they're going to be well into the 70s and 80s, so our feels like temperatures today will be well into the triple digits. Okay, here's the latest on Hurricane Aaron. Spinning over the Atlantic, it is 115 miles north-northeast of the Bahamas, and we are expecting this system to bring tropical storm force winds as we see it move towards Cat Island and Long Island. That's why they're under a tropical storm watch eventually, and really the direct impacts will be those tropical storm force winds because they extend out from the center 230 miles. Now, as for the rain bands, we are expecting the possibility of some flooding concerns as the system makes its way towards the northeast of the Bahamas. But again, our closest approach will be Tuesday, and that's why our winds are going to pick up. Also, speaking of winds picking up, the whole eastern seaboard, and as the system stays offshore, could bring some major coastal flooding. We have a coastal flood watch in effect for parts of the North Carolina area right over Morehead City, as the surf could get as high as around 12 to 15 feet. We're also watching another area that's going to push off the coast of Africa. Remember, we are nowhere near done. We haven't even reached the peak season of our Atlantic hurricane season. So with that being said, you want to head to the beach. Today is the best day to do so. Low risk of rip currents for beach goers, boaters. The bay is at a light shop. Hey, for you in the Keys, near shore waters will be smooth. 7-day forecast, we continue to warm up. Highs in the mid 90s by Wednesday. Ooh, Annaliese, it is getting hot, hot, hot.
Hot out there, Julie. South Florida, pump the ACs because you may have to sit in some traffic. Things finally starting to slow down a little bit, but you're still seeing some congestion out there. This right here is the Dolphin Expressway. You can see your westbound lanes look good. Your eastbound lanes moving pretty slow. They've been moving pretty slow all morning long, so you can take the Airport Expressway if you want to avoid this. Let's take you to your maps. Things still looking very red out there, especially as you head into downtown Miami going southbound on 95. You do have an accident causing some delays for you here. It's just adding to the headache, right? This is going northbound, though. This is right before Northwest 79th Street, so you can see both your south and northbound lanes looking pretty congested out there. You do have a right lane blocked here because of this accident, so speeds here moving as slow as 9 miles per hour. Eesh, what a headache. This right here is definitely avoidable, though. You can take 441 if you'd like to avoid all of that. Broward County, 595, seeing this small delay here. This is just a little pocket of red. Once you get past it, it's not so bad. You do get to the green pretty quickly, but here speeds moving as slowly as 12 miles per hour, and this is just after the turnpike that you're seeing these delays. If you'd like to avoid this, you could take State Road 84. Let's take you over to some drive times right here so you can see how long it's going to take you to get to places. I-75 to US 1 will take you 18 minutes going eastbound on 595. University Drive to US 1 will take you 10. Eric.
Okay, Annaliese, thank you.